Hi, I'm Mrs. Willard.
And I'm Langston. We're going to be reading our favorite book, Where's the Dragon?
Where's the Dragon? Each and every year, on the first day of summer, little George hurried to visit his grandfather. The old man had a dog named Meg and a workshop full of wonders. He could carve anything George asked him to: kites, clocks, flutes, fiddles, and wonderful wooden dragons. And as he carved, Grandfather told amazing tales about an enormous old dragon who lived in the mountains. His tales seemed so real that George felt as if he could almost see a dragon. Do you see any dragons, Langston?
I see a dragon right there, right there, right there. And to tell you guys, you could also feel your hand around on the page, and it will feel bumpy where there's a dragon.
There's textures.
Right here, right there.
Okay, let's go to the next page. But this year, as Grandfather finished his tales, George asked, "Do you think perhaps I'm too old to believe in dragons?" "Seeing is believing," cried Grandfather. "It's time I took you on a dragon hunt." He asked George to carry all sorts of strange things down to the boat: a telescope, an umbrella, a magnifying glass, and an ancient yellow map. Finally, Grandfather put on a hat with a long fluffy feather. "This," he chuckled, "is my dragon hunting hat." Where's the
There's
dragon?
a dragon right there, right there, right there, that mountain, and right there, there, there.
Lots of hiding dragons.
And right there, there, and
Okay, let's go to the next page.
oh, and if you see any dragons that I don't see, make sure to come to me at school next year and tell me what you counted.
Ooh, I like it. Off they sailed to hunt for the dragon. George was so full of questions, it was a wonder he didn't burst. "Is he a big dragon?" asked George. "As big as the sky," roared Grandfather. "He must be easy to see," said George. No, not at all," said Grandfather. "To see a dragon, you must hunt high and low and always believe hard enough."
There's a dragon right there. I bet you could easily see that right there. And right there. Oh, and one more spot right there.
Ooh, this one's so good. When night fell, they tied up the boat and found a nice place to sleep. As they settled down on the riverbank, George, Grandfather, and Meg stared up at the dark sky. "Look, Grandfather," whispered George, pointing up at the stars. "What's that winking in the sky?" "Oh, yes," said Grandfather. "What a beautiful moon."
There was one monster, there was another monster, and a dragon right there. And a dragon right there. And those are dragons. The trees are dragons.
Okay, let's move to the next. We'll leave some guessing for you guys. They all slept well. They all dreamed of dragons, and Meg snored so loud the ground seemed to shake and shudder.
That I think you could tell that that's a dragon.
Yeah, the legs.
Yeah.
Let's see. In the morning, Grandfather's boat had vanished into the air. Was it the dragon, George wondered? Not at all, grumbled Grandfather, who was a little nearsighted. Dragons always leave footprints. Do you see the footprint?
He left the toe on.
Where did the boat go? Can you guys see?
I don't think they noticed. I think they only saw that one, but there's one right there, and one right there, and one right there.
Okay, let's see. "And dragons always live on mountaintops," said Grandfather, striding up a path. A tail, cried George, trying to catch with the old man. "We've no time for tales," puffed Grandfather. "There's a dragon to hunt."
That's a dragon, that's a dragon, that's a dragon. And tell me if you see more dragons, okay?
It gets good. "No dragon. Do dragons breathe fire?" panted George. Not at all, wheezed Grandfather, taking off his dragon hunting hat, mopping his brow. But it's hot today.
There's a dragon, there's a dragon, there's a dragon.
There's the main dragon.
Yes, and there's the dragon.
I wonder why it's so hot.
Yeah.
As they reached the top of the mountain, George was sure he believed in dragons. He pointed and shouted, "His eye!" "Yes, it's high," said Grandfather, who was still a little hard of hearing. Dragons always live up high.
There's only one dragon up here. This one. That's the only dragon up there.
This is the scary part. The mouth, shrieked George. "Of a cave," shouted Grandfather. "So where's that dragon hiding?" And with that, he leapt into the darkness, waving his umbrella about his head. George yelled, Meg barked, but it was too late. Can you tell where they're at? Where did he go in?
The mouth.
Oh my goodness. Perhaps it was a dragon hay fever. Perhaps it was a dragon cold. Most likely it was a long, fluffy feather on Grandfather's dragon hunting hat. Whatever it was, it made the dragon sneeze. A sneeze that shook the mountain. "Quite a breeze blowing," bellowed Grandfather as he somersaulted out over their heads. The dragon hunt was over. "Next year we'll hunt higher and lower and believe even harder," cried Grandfather. "Then we're sure to see a dragon." "Of course," chuckled George, holding Grandfather's hand and winking at Meg. After all, seeing is believing.
Right there. Oh, go back to the beginning. You know why? To the very first page. There's a dragon. There's a dragon.
It shows us all the dragons and it's hidden how many dragons are in the book. So that concludes our favorite book, Where the Dragons. Bye!